Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. In this video, I will discuss the timeline of World War III and the countdown to the Antichrist New World Order One World Religion system. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I have come across this website. Not sure how valid this information presented on this website is, but definitely the information that they present here is tied to what we have in the Bible. So, of course, I cannot say it's 100% correct, but it looks like they've done a lot of research and analysis. Okay, let's check it out. World War III. The planned World War III are played in numerous acts. World War III in brief. A World War scenario was developed several decades ago. Two world wars have already been achieved, and the third and final World War invasions and attack on Iraq, Iran, and or Syria as being the trigger to set the entire Middle East into fiery conflagration. Once America is firmly entrenched into the Middle East with the majority of her first-line units, North Korea is to attack South Korea. Then, with America's forces stretched well beyond the limit, China is to invade Taiwan. This will usher in the start of World War III. Let's see the timeline. These are the stages of the planned Third World War, prelude to events leading up to the start of World War III, including September 11, year 2001. Act 1. The Middle East. Widespread conflicts to bring the entire region into the flames of war, possibly triggered by Iran and militants in Pakistan using North Korean supplied nuclear arms. The first scene in this act is the U.S. invasion of Iraq on March 20th, 2003. I have to say, currently, ever since I think around February, the conflict in the Middle East has been increasing. So that is what they are trying to develop. This Act 1. Act 2. Israel at war against her Arab neighbors, possibly Palestine. A Palestinian state will be established so that all Israelis will be fully separated from Palestinians, only for Israel to viciously attack Palestine shortly thereafter. This is what is happening now, the past weekend. If you look at last Thursday, the airstrike started early in the morning last Thursday, then intensified during Saturday and Sunday, which is May 4th and from May 3rd, May 4th, and May 5th, which is yesterday. This is going on right now. So Act 1 has been developing, and then now Act 2 is carrying on. Act 3, Far East, hair-raising nuclear confrontation that threatens mankind's existence. Includes China invading Taiwan and a nuclear eruption on the Korean Peninsula. If the conflicts between Israel and Palestine intensify for the next few days, even though the ceasefire temporary right now, but Netanyahu said that the campaign is not over. Actually, he is planning the next act, so which means they will carry on a full-on war with Palestine. Then it will lead to U.S. spreading herself thin, and China invading Taiwan and North Korea invading South Korea. I believe it will most likely. It's just guessing, not of course not exactly what will happen, but I'm guessing as early as the end of this month. Since China has been strategically placing the nuclear submarines all over the world, and they already um, the formation of the military already set together with North Korea, Russia, Iran, the major players in this game. Act 4, erosion of confidence in the system. So severe citizens will be panicked into giving up liberties and constitutional form of government. The plan calls for the dissolution of the U.S. Constitution triggered by a significant enough terrorist attack. The ultimate intent is to introduce a global government and one world religion. Act 4, I think that it's simultaneously carrying out with Act 2 and Act 3. The terrorist attack from the deep state and Russia that will simultaneously happen. Act 5, the collapse of the US and other Western economies and morales. From my point of view, as early as this summer, which is maybe end of June or July. Act 6, significant population reduction using new natural and man-made disasters. Of course, this has been happening. Curtain, who can tell how this war will end? Both biblical prophecy and the Illuminati plan state that Israel is the key. The Third World War is planned to begin when Israel goes to war against her Arab enemies, which is now. So the Third World War can be triggered any second now. Then, and only then, will all the other elements begin to occur, and they will do so in rapid succession. The plan is to have one disaster following another in such rapid succession that before people can mentally and emotionally handle one disastrous news event, they will be hit with another. It is also accurate to say that until all of the elements for World War III are in place, the plan will not commence. While it would be naive to suggest a specific timeline for the events leading up to and including World War III, we do know that the plans for World War III are well advanced, and our leaders involved in this secret plan are waiting only for the right signal before all-out war begins. We are in the last stages of the preparations to so globalize the world that the Masonic New Age Christ, Antichrist, can appear to receive all the political and economic power of the world's rulers. This is the Illuminati plan and biblical prophecy, Revelation 17:12-17. In the words of Peter the Messiah, author of the Armageddon script, the script is now written, subject only to last-minute editing and stage directions. The stage itself, albeit in darkness, is almost ready. Down in the pit, subterranean orchestra is already turning up. The last-minute walk-on parts are even now being filled. Most of the main actors, one suspects, have already taken up their roles. Soon it will be time for them to come on stage, ready for the curtain to rise. The time for action will have come. World War III Act 4, Scene 1, Erosion of confidence in the system. An erosion of confidence in the protections provided by the government may be so severe that citizens will gradually be willing to give up their liberties and constitutional form of government. Look out for terrorist attacks, the deep state orchestra, the false flag events coming up soon, disruption to services, disease scars, which is the bioweapons that they will use, natural disasters, Project Bluebeam, and hub projects that create so many different natural disasters such as flooding, tornadoes, etc. Corruption or scandals in Western governments. Of course, the Democrat Party, or real or imagined, all will be designated to undermine our confidence in the powers that be. World War III, Act 5, Scene 1, Collapse of U.S. and Western morals and economies. I think that Western morals already collapsed, like in as early as when Obama was in office. So as the economies. So we're just waiting for the collapse of the U.S. Caused by the terrorist attacks from the deep state as false flag events. Between 1776 to 1788, Edward Gibson published a huge 6-volume work entitled The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Gibbon's work was scholarly and monumental as it thoroughly covered a period of history spanning approximately 1200 years. His goal in producing this study was to precisely catalog the reasons for the rise of the Roman Empire and the factors leading to the decline and fall of the empire. Gibson was universally held as achieving his objective brilliantly. But Gibson not only created a document which details how and why Roman Empire rose and fell, he created a document which detailed precisely how a successful and powerful empire could be subverted and destroyed. Gibson listed 5 basic reasons that the enormous Roman Empire was destroyed. Number 1. The dramatic increase of divorce undermined the institution of the family, which is the U.S. has been going on for many years now. So technically, this can also apply to the U.S. Babylon, Mystery Babylon. The imposition of higher taxes undermined the economic stability and vitality of the empire. Taxes were raised to pay for deficit government spending, to pay for food for all in society, and to pay for government-sponsored activities of diversion, such as circuses and sports. Interestingly, as the time of the final collapse drew closer, greater emphasis was placed on sports to divert the attention of the public from the distressing news of massive trouble within the empire. This can also apply to, I think, not only the US but also Europe. Higher taxes, especially in France or the EU, and so the food price here in the U.S. surge like non-stop. Inflation is high, and then of course they use sports, which is NFL, football, baseball, rugby, soccer, tennis, and the Olympic Games, etc. The drive for personal pleasure had become very intense, even to the point of obsession. Gibbons noted that at the very end, sports had become more exciting and brutal. Of course, I think intense is the correct word to describe personal pleasure. I think it's like beyond um, moral standard right now in the world. People lost their faith, both religiously and in their government. Paganism gave way to Christianity, and the efficient Roman government gave way to chaos and disintegration. Hidden conspirators were working within the government to secretly destroy it. They worked quietly, invisibly, and decisively. During the entire time they were secretly dismantling the government of the Roman Empire, they publicly proclaimed their unswerving support of it, which is the Democrat and the UN, the globalist. The domino effect will happen any moment now. And remember the military positioning strategically, especially in the Middle East, the China Sea, and also Venezuela, has been developing around the end of February. So now, let's see, March, April, and then now is going towards in the middle of May. So there are 2.5 months um, setting up the bases, positioning, and military drills have been completed. Therefore, now is the perfect time to start the war in Israel and also in Venezuela. I don't know which one will happen first, so I guessing maybe Israel first. Then soon after that is Venezuela. As things carry on, China and North Korea will start their in in China, in Asia. There are still false flag events that we're waiting for in London, the Tower Bridge, and maybe in Paris again, the Eiffel Tower. Of course, Seattle and LA, San Francisco, uh, uh, New York, and Florida, then Midwest, Texas, and so the whole Midwest earthquake. I pray that rapture will happen soon this week, so we can leave this chaotic world. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.